Hello and welcome to this week's TA Technical Tuesday. Today is October 14th, 2025. My name is Trent Carroll, the founder and chief market strategist here at TA Capital Research. And TA Technical Tuesday is where we highlight the top 5 charts that we believe you should be watching right now. Before we dive in, there is a quick disclaimer, and I'll pull that up for you to take a look at. All right, in our first chart, we have the NYSE Composite Index. That is ticker NYA. This is the daily time frame. We can see increased volatility over the last couple trading sessions following the break lower out of the rising wedge. We also input the first lower low since August 1st. We can see the price is testing the rising 50-day moving average. That is the current trend support within the chart. If price does slip below this 50-day moving average, that could trigger additional selling into the 20,300 pivot below. So while we do expect some short-term follow-through out of this rising wedge, we continue to be risk on long-term. That pivot below is our primary risk level within this chart. And on to the S&P 500 versus the All Country World Index. So last week we highlighted the S&P 500 versus the emerging markets, showing relative weakness within U.S. equities. But that weakness is not specific to emerging markets, that is global markets in general. So we can see here there is a head and shoulders that's forming, working on the right shoulder right now. If we do see this slip below that pivot support, the neckline, we can see accelerated relative weakness within U.S. equities relative to the global markets. Next, we have the crypto total market cap, that is ticker TOTAL. This is the weekly time frame. So we saw a big liquidation event to close out last week's on Friday. That did last not very long. It was really just intraday, but there was a lot of people that were concerned, a lot of people freaking out. But we wanted to highlight this chart. There has been no technical damage done within this chart long term. We can see the rising support continues to hold, trending higher off of the 2022 lows. Within this trend higher as well, we have the rising 20 and 50 week moving averages moving higher with price also. Here we have biotech versus healthcare. So last week we highlighted the breakout within healthcare. We highlighted specifically as well pharmaceuticals breaking out relative to healthcare. This week we are highlighting biotech. So biotech is breaking out of a 3.5 year consolidation. It's emerging higher out of this consolidation. We saw biotech input the new 52-week high last week. We expect this leadership to continue. We don't expect a failed breakout here. Biotech has been huge off of the 2025 lows. We expect this leadership to continue within healthcare and also just within the market entirely for biotech. And lastly, we have electronic equipment, instruments, and components versus technology. So this is another industry versus sector relative chart. We can see that the industry here is stuck below a 2-year downtrend after breaking that pivot support relative to technology. That pivot breakout was in 2023. This industry continues to lag within the strongest sector, technology, all of this year. This is a clear representation of the importance of relative strength analysis, where we want exposure to leaders and reducing laggards. So technology has been huge this year, but not every industry within technology is partaking within that strength. This is where, for TA Capital Research, relative strength analysis is huge for us. Not specifically to sector, it could be global markets as well. But this is just a perfect example of not everything within a sector is gonna partake in sector strength. And that is going to wrap up this week's TA Technical Tuesday. If you found this helpful, be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications. We'll be posting these every week, keeping it fast-paced and focus on the most actionable charts across the global markets. If you'd like to give TA Capital Research a try, now is the perfect time. We are offering our largest offer of the year, which is 50% off all of our annual plans. If you don't want to join annual plan, you can still join monthly. All of our plans do offer a free trial as well, so you can give us a try risk-free. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in next week's episode.